I'm 31 years old. I still play golf professionally a little bit, but I played golf for about 8 or 9 years, playing on various tours all over the North America, South America, over in Europe. Back in 2017, I was playing on a Canadian tour, and I think either the first or second event, I was on the driving range and I hit a ball and it felt like I hurt my wrist. I tried hitting another shot and the pain was incredible. So I had to pull out of the event. I'd hurt my wrist, but I had no idea what was going on with it. The pain was so great. Like if I moved it, it was a really sharp pain. It kind of like halfway up my arm. So I kind of like immobilized it through my personal trainer. It was a friend of Dr. Hunt's. I'd been told I was going to need surgery and that would put me out for 6 to 9 months, which I obviously didn't want to do. So the reason why I went to see him was because I wanted a second opinion. I'd kind of already resided to the fact that I might have to get surgery, and this was just terrible because I'd only been playing professionally for a couple months. And when I saw him, he said, "Oh, it was telling me at the time this treatment was fairly new. Anything would be better than having to get surgery. If I could find an alternative to that, that would be fantastic. I could get back to playing. Pretty easy introduction because my personal trainer was like, "Hey, one of my athletes needs to come and see you. He's, in some trouble." And he was like, "Send him over right now." I was able to get in with him immediately. This was like 6 p.m. in the evening too. I was in so much pain that I'll try anything. As an athlete at the time, the prospect of having to sit out for 6 to 9 months was scary. And I was like, anything I can do to not have that happen, I will try. So that's the real that's the reason why I did it. And then after one session, I was like, wow, this stuff's amazing. And I've referred so many of my friends who have had other injuries, not just wrist, but like shoulder, elbow, knee, to him to have that treatment, and everyone comes back from finishing the treatment saying how beneficial it was. His whole team was incredible. Everyone from the front desk to his PAs or any of the other doctors that were working with him. I was kind of like a bit of a guinea pig at the time because I think I was one of the first patients that they were trying this treatment on, and they also couldn't believe how well it worked. Not just me. It wasn't just me that was excited about it, but the other doctors were excited about it too. So, everyone's super friendly, in a loop about exactly what they were doing, why they were doing it, expectations, of the treatment, of the pain levels, of the rehab that I had to do to kind of complement the treatment. So, yeah, Dr. Hunt and his whole team are incredible. Since the treatment, which I think the goal is for anyone having treatment on an injury, it went back to normal. There's no pain. And again, that was back in 2018, and we're 2025 now, almost in 2026, and I've had no issues with it. And that's exactly what Dr. Hunt did for me. I mean, if you want someone that knows what they're doing, a real expert, yes, there is some real science behind it, but he explained everything to me in a way that someone that isn't a doctor would understand. And he did the job he said he was going to do. He said, "I'm going to try and make you better so that you could get back to competing, hopefully, sooner than 6 months." And I was actually back to competing within 3 or 4 weeks. So, the fact that he can do that speaks volumes to, you know, working with him and getting the treatment from him. If you're injured or you're having pain or from a certain injury that Dr. Hunt can help with, then why are you sitting on the fence with getting treatment? As someone that kind of maybe had those feelings too, like, oh, I'm worried about getting surgery or getting treatment, and now coming out the other side, and saying to myself, well, why was I even questioning getting treatment? That everything he did worked, and um, I'm healed, no pain. It was I had no surgery, and it was quicker than what other doctors had told me was going to happen. Then there's not this. It's kind of really a no brainer.